My wife cheated on me, and I feel like I'm the only one with everything to lose. My 32 meters wife 31F have been together for 17 years, married 9. She's had emotional affairs that she's admitted and physical ones that I assume after reading messages the beginning of May that she denies. I haven't been the perfect partner. I've always had a problem with confidence, jealousy, anxiety, and I've dealt with alcohol and iron addictions. I haven't touched either since I found out she was pregnant the first time. She knew I watched iron and said she didn't mind until it clearly became a problem and I stopped. I've said and done things she's never communicated to me, but has held grudges against. She's admitted to that. I still very much love her. She says she loves me, and never wanted to hurt me. I feel betrayed, angry, and bitter. But I very much want to get past this and try to have a romantic relationship with her. She says she doesn't know what she wants, that she wishes she hated me to make the decision easier. We have 2 kids 3 and under, and I'm a stay-at-home dad. Ever since I've helped put her through school and establish a career, she actually just got a major promotion and raise last week, and will take on a schedule I've begged her for years to get. I've only ever held part-time jobs, and did side stuff as a musician. I've always put aside my ambitions, networks, and opportunities because her career path is more lucrative. But this was always our goal, and I want nothing more than to be a strong family. These affairs and lies have lived rent in my head since I've been suspicious. A few years after we got married, I'll discover something is going on, we'll reconcile, things will be perfect and ideal, and it creeps up again. She's refused to go to therapy until now. She said she wants to work on her communication and find out what she wants. I'm forgiving because I think a lot of it stems from her father abandoning her months after we got married. He just packed up and left, and we haven't heard from him in 8 years, and I'm financially dependent on her. She's also stated she regrets not getting to date, or have normal college life experiences. Which I kind of get, and have felt similar. I'm not attached to the mortgage, I have no job, marketable skills, and I'm the sole caregiver of our children. I wouldn't even know how to start a career, let alone make time for it and work out time for my children. If we divorce, I will lose my future, financial security, the life I've built, and the love of my life. We've both been going to therapy. We're getting along right now, going on dates, doing family stuff, and are generally cordial. We've even booked a trip for our anniversary in September. She'll hug and kiss me if I initiate it, and she still likes to cuddle in bed. But she has been wearing her ring less, and doesn't really initiate any real conversations or physical contact. I don't really know what to do or where I stand with her. I know I have a buddy I can stay with. I'm thinking of trying to get some part-time work and maybe getting my kids into a daycare. I don't want to be the one to leave the house. I feel like I would be abandoning my children. But balancing this relationship is exhausting, and my therapist says I should work on learning to be independent. I'm wondering if we need to separate or spend some good time apart before thinking about staying together. But I very much want to make this work, and I'd give distance is the right thing. It's been 2 months. We started solo therapy. I'd where she's at, or if anything I'm doing is right. I want to start couples therapy soon. How should I go about starting a conversation about what I want, what I'm thinking, and where she is and what she wants things to look like? Should I wait for her to initiate that conversation? Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, so sorry, but you need to speak to a lawyer to see where you stand if you divorce, especially financially and children. It sounds as if your wife has already made a decision by not committing to your marriage and taking ring off. Whatever you do, don't rug sweep this or play the pick-me game. Stand your ground and set boundaries. Sadly, this is going to be a rough ride through this whatever happens, but be prepared, as best you can, for the worse. You will get some good advice on here. Redditor 2, you need to consult an attorney immediately. Depending on your locality, you're due alimony and child support, just as if she had been a stay-at-home mom and you had been the one providing an income. I don't want to be the one to leave the house. You don't? She cheated, she needs to be the one to go. Get checked for STDs, STIs, and get a DNA test for your children. Op answer, I got checked back in May and I'm clean. I don't have any doubts about my son. The genetics are there. I have been considering getting my daughter tested though. And if I do, I'll get my son too, just to make sure. Redditor 3, meet with a lawyer so they can paint a financial picture for you. You'll get child support, alimony, half her 401k, half the house, etc. You won't be as financially broken as you think you are. Don't leave the house or kids until your lawyer has a signed agreement or you've been to court. Redditor follow up, this is true, and depending on what state, he may likely also be entitled to reimbursement for his investment into her career. Update, I thought I would lose everything. I understand now I will gain everything. I have gotten a lot of great advice, and I understand my options now. Despite what the picture I've painted and what people think, I love this woman as a friend, and she is a great mother. I have talked to a lawyer, and several friends. We are going to separate, we are going to share custody, and I am going to explore life beyond being a husband and father. I've applied to several jobs and have interviews lined up. I need a break from parenting. I need a break from husbandhood. I need to find what is best for me. And I am going to gain some independence, and in 6 or so months I will re-evaluate my life with the mother of my children. I need independence, socially and financially. I will take what I can from her, but also learn what I can do away from her. I want to give my children the best. But right now, I'm weak and vulnerable and need some distance, but I will also be a part of their lives. Thank you all for the constructive criticism. Redditor's reactions, story 2 after. Redditor 1, yes, you kinda get those silly married goggles slapped off of you, and once the bright newness of the situation goes away, you're left with your freedom and agency, and this should excite you. Redditor 2, you cannot take a break from parenting. That is not an option. Sorry. Op answer, you're right. I've been a sole care provider for 2+ years. I'm just going to be there half of the time now per our agreement under our legal counsel. Precedents have been made. I will be a parent still, just not 24/7. Redditor 3, good for you. After infidelity, this is exactly the right thing to do. I'm excited to hear your successes. Please update. Op answer, I'll post again in a couple of months. I'm taking the options I have and the social media break to work on myself. But I'll definitely check back in before autumn rolls around. Story 2, I warned her. My ex 29F and I 29 meters met in college in 2013. I was 22 and she was 21, we became fast friends and eventually we developed feelings for each other. We became a couple a year later, it was a great relationship and I don't regret it. Fast forward to 2016, I was home when she called me saying she was outside and that we needed to talk. So I went outside and I saw that she was crying in her car. I went up to her and asked what's wrong. She confessed that she cheated on me. I don't want to go into details because I'm trying to keep this short. I was shocked, hurt, and was teared up. She went on saying that we needed to break up because I deserved better than her and that she developed feelings for AP. I warned her about rushing it with someone else and that a relationship that begins by cheating usually ends badly. After we finished talking, I walked back to my house, but before I went in, I turned around to see her one more time and she was still crying. Once I went inside, she posted on social media saying, "I wish I could just disappear," with a crying emoji. I proceeded to remove her from social media after that. As I was mourning the end of my relationship, I also thought about how her new relationship will blow up in her face. Fast forward 2 years later, she messages me asking me to meet up, because she wanted to talk. I knew the day had arrived. So I met her at a diner. I live in New Jersey and she was miserable. She looked like she was crying before we met up. When she saw me, she gave a weak hi and gave her a cold one. This surprised her and got teary-eyed. I started by asking her what she wanted to talk about. She started saying that her and AP broke up 2 weeks ago, and admitted that the relationship with him was horrible. It turns out he was a narcissist, who emotionally abused her. She also admitted that the guilt of what she did to me never went away and that I was right. She then noticed my emotionless expression and turned away, saying, "You used to be so happy and silly. It hurts seeing you like this, and I know it's my fault because of my bad, selfish, and dumb decisions." She went to say, "I'm sorry for everything. I thought about you every day for the past 2 years." She then said, "Not only did I ruin us, but I lost my best friend. You were my best friend and I ruined that." She started crying again, saying, "I'm not here to get back together because I don't deserve that and I have no right to ask that." I proceeded to say that it's true that you don't deserve me. It gets quiet and she turned away again. I said that she missed me and that she missed me for 2 years, then she asked me to be friends again. I told her I can't promise anything. She starts crying for the final time and I left the diner. As I was walking out, I turn over and she's still crying. How history repeats itself in the end. Cheating ruins the cheater and the victim. Never cheat, it's usually never worth it. Edit. So because I got numerous requests, I'm going to post what happened after I left the diner. Hi everyone, I have decided to do an update to my original post due to numerous requests. This will be my only update since Therese nothing else to say afterwards. Before I go any further, I have some things to clarify about my original post. 1. The AP was emotionally abusive. I know because my ex showed me her texts and it was full of "No one will ever love you like me and you're ugly." Also, he broke up with her by text. What a scumbag. 2. She did try reached out to me multiple times during the 2 years she was with AP. She asked how I was doing, "I'm sorry and are you okay?" I ended up not responding. I didn't block her because I was waiting for when her relationship blew up. 3. Friends and family actually saw her during the 2 years and they all said the same thing. She looked miserable and when she saw them, she would run up to them and ask how I'm doing, and to tell me that she will never stop being sorry. 4. The diner meeting happened in 2018. Now back to the story. After I got home from the diner, she messaged me saying, "If we become friends again, I'll work my BTT off to earn back your trust, and if not, please know I'll always be sorry for everything." Fast forward a year later and I bumped into her at a while buying lunch. We caught up and I wasn't as cold as before. I will admit I'm a little embarrassed about what I did next. I offered her a FWB with me and she accepted. The FWB lasted for a few months. When I look back, I think I did it for closure and to show her what she's missing. I ended it because I felt that I got my closure. She was disappointed but also understood. A few months later she started seeing someone new and they dated until early 2020 before the pandemic hit. She showed up to my home unannounced and revealed to me that the new guy cheated on her with multiple women, and actually blamed her for the cheating. Just like the AP, the new guy broke up with her by text. While she went on saying how much she hated herself for what she did to me, but now she understands how I felt. I gave her a hug and told her to take these lessons and never forgot them. She thanked me and left. Fast forward to now, I heard she's in IC and remains single by choice. I saw her mother recently and she informed me, as for me I'm single working on myself. I'm getting into shape and I'm working in psychology. Guess what inspired me? Thank you for reading my story. I appreciate everyone who read and replied. Update: I didn't expect this at all. So I honestly thought I had nothing else to say about this, but something happened last month that made me think. So last month my ex left me this message: "Hey Jay, I know this is a shock to hear from me, but I want to get this off my chest. I felt guilty for cheating on you with AP 5 years ago. I left you for him. But part of me didn't love you anymore regardless. But it still wasn't right of me to leave you for someone else. I've learned my lesson not to put someone through that type of pain that I did to you. I 5 years later still carry that part of pain with me, and I will never forgive myself for that ducked up situation. I definitely don't give a poop about AP anymore cause of how much of a narcissistic asshole he really is. You can find someone better than me. Our relationship was wonderful. You were good to me and at the end I treated you like poop. You didn't deserve that at all, and my relationship with AP started off good until I saw the real truth in him and the red flags that I didn't realize until after our relationship. I felt guilty for hurting you during me and AP's relationship. I miss our friendship a lot. When I saw you for the first time in 2 years, I said to myself, he is so not gonna forgive me for the poop I put him through, and I'm gonna be lady enough to apologize for the way I hurt him, and I would never ask him to take me back cause that's not the way to handle poop at all. I will always care about you and I will always be sorry for everything I've done. I hope I can see you again one day. I was speechless at first, but then I just messaged thank you and left it at that. Thanks for reading. Update: emotional infidelity. It's been a while since I posted here. So I wanted to give a little update and talk about something that I've been curious about. I'm happy to say that I haven't seen my ex in 2 years and that things are going really well. Since I last posted, I was in a relationship that ended 7 months ago, but at least that breakup was mutual. Also, I'm no longer scrawny. I finally got some muscle on me. As for what I'm curious about, I was reflecting today about when I met my ex at the diner back in 2018. She was telling me how she didn't realize that she was also emotionally cheating on me until years later. She told me that it made her feel even worse because she didn't know what emotional cheating was at the time and she thought infidelity was only physical. It actually made me wonder if there are a lot of people that don't really know that they're emotionally cheating. I would like to hear from both BS and WS. Redditors reactions. Story 3 after. Redditor 1, no, I think they know. At the heart of betrayal is secrecy. If they're keeping things from you, deleting texts, misrepresenting the truth, then they're cheating and they know it. If they wouldn't say it in front of their partner, they know they shouldn't do it at all. Redditor 2. Here is a post I made about how emotional affairs work and I hope you find it useful. To answer your question, yes, a lot of people don't realize that they are emotionally cheating in the early stages because an EA looks just like a very close friendship, which it actually is. The issue is that there is an element of crush which separates it from being just friends. The future wayward will even talk about this person to us, identifying them as cocky, bubbly, fun or annoying, whatever. They may even admit to a small crush. As the year really starts to take root, the wayward's position starts to change. The betrayed may start to call out the increased interactions and feel uncomfortable. As nothing has yet happened physically, the wayward will defend their position. As far as they are concerned, it's just a friendship, albeit an increasingly important one. They start to lie about their attraction, which should give the game away to themselves, but this is often just brushed aside as not relevant. Then the secrecy begins. The wayward wants both the friendship and the primary relationship, but knows that to do so publicly would cause friction, so conveniently stops mentioning the interactions to the betrayed. This is the crossroads. Some waywards will stop the interactions having had the danger pointed out, some will recognize that something is wrong but want to keep the fun and believe supremely incorrectly that they can control the interactions, and when it goes too far that they can stop it. Note, it already has when they make this fateful choice, and they will find that they can't control it, and some will recognize that it's time to move the affair to physical. So at this point some waywards recognize that they are in an affair. Some think that there is danger of an affair, some are in denial that there is anything wrong, and some progress to physical, having just had it confirmed as a possibility. Once the conversations become increasingly estimual, all subjects are open for discussion and the pair begin to disparage each other's relationships. The primary relationship becomes torn apart, cored out, and the bedrock destroyed. A whispering campaign. Again, other than the estimual content which the wayward critically underestimates the significance of, the wayward often just thinks that they've got a confidant that is on the same page and just gets them. To them it's still not an affair. They enjoy the banter and flirting, the frank discussions which are theory only, and wrongly think that they can stop at any time. They now have a really close confidant and it's nice. All it took was a few read hundreds or flirty texts and a few racy photos to secure it. Not much worse than Instagram. But all the while the barriers that protect the relationship are steadily coming down. Then the freeze begins. The wayward and betrayed lose track of what's happening in each other's lives due to AP being the primary confidant. The wayward wrongly sees that the betrayed is no longer giving them what they want. Betrayed no longer knows wayward, has shut down communication, and the relationship is almost entirely caught out. This accelerates the AP as confidant, but in the wayward's mind it's still not an affair. Even tough AP is capitalizing on this by telling wayward how bad the situation is and that they'd never do anything like that, but would instead mirror the exact posture that the wayward would hope for and be expecting. Finally, with all the barriers removed, a hollow relationship with the betrayed and a total in-depth understanding of AP's physical needs. All it takes is a particular smile or a touch of the leg and the affair turns physical. The wayward can't explain it. They were just friends and then this horrific mess just happened They can't explain it. Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it was the lack of attention, maybe it was the unresolved childhood issues. It couldn't possibly have been the thousands of unsafe choices and interactions derived from them, could it? No. That's too far-fetched, got to be something else. Redditor 3. So 15 years ago my wife had a very close relationship with the owner of her antique mall. This mostly played out in front of me, so not much was hidden. She would sit with him, not me, at a bar we went to as a group. He was her friend and confidant. He would touch her inappropriately and she never complained. They would go to the lake with his wife for a couple of days when I had to work, but also had lunch, coffee regularly. Spent plenty of time with just them. He kissed her at Christmas parties and New Year's. They would stay out late together drinking and come home at 1 or 2 in the morning. When I told her that this humiliated me, she said nothing was going on, he was just a friend, he was funny, he adored her, it was my fault for not paying enough attention to her. They talked on the phone every day. There are 11 steps to an emotional affair published elsewhere on Reddit, but it never turned into a sting or a physical affair could have on his part, but he had ed according to his wife, so I was lucky there. I went along with it because she was having a lot of fun with him. But constant humiliation to watch them together, and he made sure I knew when he touched her. My wife said he was very jealous of me. This went on for at least 2-3 years. We never knew what to call this, but fast forward a decade or so, and after reading about emotional affairs on Reddit, this was like 9-10 of the 11 steps in an EA. My wife says I could have stopped it at any time, but I was not making bad choices, she was, and my therapist said she should have been the one to stop it, knowing it hurt my feelings. But at the time, my wife was in the fog of the EA, and while in it, you can't see the hurt you are causing because they are having fun. Story 3, what if she was right to do it? It's been 3 years now and I still feel the pain of being cheated on. I truly think that I'm unlovable because I haven't been able to be in a relationship since we split up. I don't think I've even gotten somebody to be interested in me. My mind went from I didn't deserve to get cheated on to maybe she did the right choice. I have nothing to live for except for my cats. Life is just so hard when nobody truly loves you. So many friends have left me behind and I can't make new ones. I had to drop out of college because my parents can't pay for it anymore, but my brother got to graduate, and even got to study abroad. Not even my own parents think that I'm worth the sacrifice and effort. The only thing I can think about now is that it's all my fault. I wish I could just exit my body and just not be myself. It didn't get better, the pain just keeps going and it never stops. And it all started when I got cheated on. Maybe I did it to myself in the end. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1. Sounds more like you are in a depression spiral. You have allowed someone's abuse of you to define your worth. Please go get some help, your thinking is distorted. Redditor 2. No, you didn't. People who love you would not betray you. You didn't cheat, you loved, but cheaters cannot really love anyone, not even themselves. Your parents could be going through something financially. Have you checked into scholarships, Pell Grants, or even student loans to continue college? You need to focus on you here, not your ex or what she did. She isn't worthy. No one is ever right to cheat. Could you see a therapist? You are blaming yourself for someone else's actions, not good. You need to see that you were more worthy and you can get to where you want in life. You just have to move forward and heal, take care of yourself. Love yourself. Your cats love you. Well, cats are odd sometimes with their catitudes, consider a dog. They can make socializing easier. Seriously, you are already so much better than your ex, you know what loyalty is, you know not to hurt the one you love, you know relationships take work and dedication. BTW, I was the sibling that put myself through college, my sister had it paid for. I consider my path harder, but I appreciated my education more. Guess what? I love my sister, but she has done almost nothing with her education. I have and am doing well. Redditor 3, you absolutely did not do this to yourself. She was not right to do it. These are words you need to pound into yourself because it is the miss you that has nothing to do with you. Your parents are horrible creatures and again has no reflection on your value as a person. You seem to be stuck in the self-esteem loop I was. If you can, get therapy. If not, Try to remember that poopty people do poopty things that have no reflection on you. I'm struggling with some of the same issues, but I've realized we are not unlovable. We make ourselves seem so to us, which can easily translate to our outside lives in the form of insecurity and selfishness. As for the friends thing, I haven't made any new friends in years because I do not put myself out there. I've made a couple through jobs, but none in the wild because I made myself smaller to fix in my ex's box. Enlarge yourself. Be seen. You will attract your tribe, heart. Disclaimer, I'm also having a rough day today. They come and go. I'm sorry if my thoughts are all over.